meteorologist Stephen Jones.
Well, starting it off with the time lapse, looking off towards the west, you can see not a ton of cloud cover out there, just about partly cloudy skies, plenty of sunshine, hitting those 90s for daytime highs, even a couple century marks off towards the west, getting that great sunset thanks to some of that cloud cover that is moving in from the southeast, because they're still hanging on to just a little bit of rain down towards the south down there in Sutton County. Current temperatures at the 10 p.m. hour, 85 degrees here in town, 80 for Brady, 79 there in Junction, 80 for Sonora, 86 up in Robert Lee, so a good 7-degree spread right now across the Concho Valley, much less than what we were seeing at the 6 p.m. Dew points still very high across the region, 61 for Ozona, 71 for Junction, 68 here in town, looking like about 10 degrees of spread for dew points across the area with relative humidity indices anywhere in those 40s, 50s, even up towards the 70s as you work your way towards the southeast. And we're just going to continue to see that southerly flow, keeping that relative humidity indices pretty stable for us here in the Concho Valley. For the state, Lone Star State, you can see 81 up in Amarillo, 85 for Brownsville, 85 in Fort Stockton. El Paso still holding on to 97, but I bet they'll be cooling off pretty quick too. Phoenix over there still holding on to the century mark as well. When we're looking at the upper level pattern, you can see this is really the reason why this high pressure all over most of the southern United States gonna continue its dominance over the weather pattern, including here in the Lone Star State. Starts to split up just a little bit, both there on the east and towards the west just a little bit, but most of our weather still gonna be under the influence of that high pressure. Could see a little bit of weaknesses coming into next weekend where it could allow for some rain showers into the area, but overall right now it's only looking like about 10 to 20%. You can see the rain chances here over the next 7 days. Tomorrow and then into Monday, still maybe 5 to 10% chance, mainly for our southeastern counties. The by far majority of us are going to be staying dry. By next weekend, right now the models are calling about 20%. I've only got 10% on there because plenty can change in the week ahead, but I do hope to see that go up a little bit as well. Could always use more rain, especially with the drought monitor still going off pretty strong towards the west and towards the south. Here in the Concho Valley, we've been pretty lucky with the drought monitor as far as that's concerned. For the national satellite, you can see severe thunderstorm watch boxes up into Montana as well as the Dakotas, even some severe thunderstorm warnings across the Lone Star State in Oklahoma. Those have since vanished. We saw those at the 6 p.m. Still just a little bit of convection holding on. You can see here in the Concho Valley, turning on the radar for you, that one storm looks like it's moving into Crockett County now. Don't know if I'd even call it a storm. Probably not any lightning, seeing with that just a little bit of rain down there, and mainly cloud cover working into the area in most of the Lone Star State. Getting a closer look, you can see there was a little bit of stronger rain off towards the south that has since started to dissipate as well with the loss of daytime heating. And as we look at the futurecast, not too much better as we go into these next couple of days. Mainly off towards the southeast, even southeast of Kimball County, but I wouldn't be surprised if one or two of them try to make their way into Kimball or McCulloch counties and try to just give a brief downpour potentially, maybe even not even any lightning with it, but maybe 1 or 2 rumbles of thunder. Into Monday, the same story, but with each passing day, the high pressure starts to get a little bit stronger, so I think chances are only going to be going down as we work into the week ahead, and those temperatures are going to be on the rise. So for tonight, under the partly cloudy skies, about 72 degrees, winds out of the south 10 to 15 miles an hour, a pretty mild night at that. Tomorrow, going back up to 94 degrees, maybe even warmer off towards the west where they're a little bit drier. Just that 10% chance of rain, mainly for our southeastern counties. So you want to bring an umbrella to be safe, you can, but I don't think we're going to see too much here in San Angelo, maybe just there towards Junction and Brady, like I said. And through the next 7 days, as we finish off July there, by Thursday, going to see those temperatures on the rise. 98 is what I've got right now, but the century mark definitely not out of the question for us here if that high pressure strengthens even more. Holding on into the weekend, but there's that next 10% chance of rain with overnight lows really holding their own in the lower 70s. That's going to be all for your 7-day forecast.